I want to start this video by saying that a lot of the lore here is learned by playing through the main quest of Dragon's Dogma 1. Capcom seems to be putting more emphasis on the stories told within Dragon's Dogma 2, while keeping the main overarching story of the Arisen and the Dragon. So in this video, we will go over exactly what is going on to help you better understand why the dragon chooses you as the Arisen and sets you on this quest. Spoiler warning out of the way, let's get into the video. Let's start at the beginning, your character, the Arisen. The Arisen is the title given to you, and the people know you as such. What it basically means is that you are chosen by the dragon to live a life of strife and hardship, with the ultimate goal of hunting down and slaying the dragon. When the dragon attacks and finds someone they want to appoint the Arisen, they take their heart and imbue that person with magic. Obviously, so they wouldn't die as their heart has just been taken. The Arisen and the dragon are connected through this scar, allowing for the dragon to even communicate with the Arisen. Oh yeah, if you thought the dragon was a mindless beast, they're not. They are intelligent and filled with purpose. You'll see why later in the video. What is special about the Arisen is the fact that they do not age and have immunity to sickness. The vitality of the Arisen is linked to that of the dragon, as long as the beast holds it, and so long as the dragon lives, so does the Arisen. Should the dragon come to die, however, all Arisen who have not reclaimed their heart will age their lost time, the amount of time the dragon held their heart. Some Arisen have been known to live for centuries. And yes, I did say some Arisen. There can be more at the same time. More on that later as well. Now the Arisen doesn't travel alone. Bound to the Arisen in inexplicable servitude are those known as pawns. Pawns look human, though lack any form of emotion or even personal will, besides the will and need to serve the Arisen. These pawns can be recognized as well by the scar on their hand known as a pawn print. This scar matches the Arisen scar on their chest. The scar on the pawn's hand will glow when in the vicinity of the Arisen. Some people think that a pawn is summoned through the rift by the Arisen, but this is actually not true. Consciously or subconsciously, an Arisen's main pawn is created by the Arisen in the rift, a plane in between planes. It is also here that the Arisen can recruit other pawns of other Arisen to aid them in battle. Through a process known as the bestowal of spirit, an Arisen's pawn comes to resemble their master more and more as they spend time together, not just in manner, but even in appearance. This process may ultimately lead to the pawn becoming actual human, upon which the pawn print will disappear. Now, the third actor in our story so far is of course the dragon, and this is where the story gets really heavy. By the way, if you've been enjoying the video so far, make sure to boop that like button to help it out in the algorithm. Alright, let's continue. The dragon seems to randomly attack settlements with only the goal of causing chaos. This isn't entirely true, however. It could be said that they are looking for something, or someone. You see, it is through the dragon's actions that an Arisen may rise. Someone with the courage, but most importantly, willpower, to stand in defiance to this great beast. Should such a worthy individual rise to the challenge, the dragon takes their heart and imbues them with the task of hunting them down to take it back. This sounds weird, doesn't it? Why would a dragon attack a settlement to find someone they think shows the strength and willpower to ultimately be able to slay them? Well, I can tell you it's not due to some sadomasochistic notion, at least as far as I know, though I won't judge. It's because the dragon is part of an endless cycle. A cycle known as the Endless Chain, where the Arisen is both the cause of death and cause of rise for the dragon. This cycle is kept by a fourth actor, one we haven't mentioned yet, but plays a pivotal role in the story, the Seneschal, a god. Now, it is difficult to talk about the dragon and not talk about the Seneschal, but I'll try my best to make it all make sense. The dragon is a test created by the Seneschal to find a worthy successor. The Arisen is the one taking the test. I think you may be able to see where this story goes. Should the Arisen defeat the dragon and pass the test, they are then put before the Seneschal. The Seneschal is the keeper of the world. They have the power to create life or to bring about destruction. It is through their will that the world draws its sustenance, eventually draining it and becoming stagnant. By sending in the dragon to seek out a new Arisen, the Seneschal maintains the world's own volition, their own true life, as the Arisen is the one who offers himself by displaying courage, but more importantly, willpower. This Keeper of the World on his turn then challenges the Arisen. Should the Arisen defeat the Seneschal, he will become the new Keeper of the World. Should he fail? Well, the failed Arisen is then turned into the next dragon, and so the cycle continues. A loop, an eternity. Now there is more nuance and consequence to this story than this simplified explanation would have you believe, so let's backtrack a little bit. One of those nuances is known as the Dragon's Bargain. As we said before, the dragon takes the Arisen's heart and challenges the Arisen to track them down and defeat them in order to get his heart back and put an end to the dragon's tyranny. By now you also know that the main goal for this is to strengthen the Arisen's power and resolve so they can take on the test. But the dragon does more than only take the Arisen's heart. Near the end of the Arisen's journey, the dragon also takes the one that is closest to the Arisen and then offers the Arisen a deal. If the Arisen is willing to sacrifice the one they care for the most, the dragon will do so and simply leave. The Arisen is then free to claim the wealth and royalty befit the Dragon Slayer, with none being the wiser. The other choice, of course, is to save their beloved and slay the dragon. And now you also see how there can be multiple Arisen. There have been those in the past that have accepted this bargain, lost their beloved and returned the victor over the dragon, claiming the titles and wealth. But with their heart still belonging to the dragon, they live as long as the dragon does. As a side note, in Dragon's Dogma 1 we learn of those that accepted the bargain. We learn of those that fought the dragon and lost but did manage to escape with their lives. And we learn of those that rejected the cycle altogether, swearing to slay the gods themselves for this cursed endless chain. Dragon's Dogma 2, however, will be set in an entirely different world. This is perfectly possible as well, seeing as the universe of Dragon's Dogma consists of multiple worlds. These worlds are all connected through the Rift, where you go to summon your pawns and where they return to on their death. The extra pawns that you summon, in lore, are pawns from Arisen from different worlds. For Dragon's Dogma 2, the story will revolve largely around the same set of rules where you, as the Arisen, have to grow in power and challenge the dragon, ultimately choosing which path to take at the end. The developers are also putting focus, however, on diversifying the world and having more in-depth questlines within the overarching story with 3 nations at odds. In the human nation of Vermund, the Arisen and even the pawns are looked at with respect. They obviously want them to succeed in taking down the dragon. As opposed to the new race, the Beastren from the nation of Batal, whom look at the Arisen and pawns as a source of misfortune. Their devotion lies in the lambent flame, which they worship as a safeguard against calamity. They are especially wary of Arisen or pawn Beastren. In addition to the Beastren and humans, we have the third nation, that of the Elves. Elves prefer not to interact with the other races, keeping to themselves in their village of Sacred Arbor. They speak their own language, which can make communicating with them difficult, though as we've mentioned before, maybe the right pawn can help with that. I hope this video helped you better understand what's going on in the adventure that is Dragon's Dogma. If it did, then make sure to boop that like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. As always, take care and happy adventuring, my friends.